Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Hope you're all doing really well. So we are doing a Biab Extension Infill today. Well, I say Biab is Builder Gel. I can't remember what colour I use, but I'm going in with, this is the first thing that I do when I'm doing an infill. I don't mess around with their cuticles or anything. This is the first thing that I start off with. So this is just a medium grit drill bit. I can use coarse, but I've always just gone back to this bit. It works wonders, absolutely fine. So I'm just taking down obviously all the design, and I'm taking down some of that bulk as well, all over the nails. And then I go in with my sanding band as well. But after this part, I'm getting ahead of myself. After this part, I go in with my cuticle drill bit, which is, again, it's a medium grit. I've stopped using the fine grit is absolutely fine if you've had like sensitive cuticles, but my client's cuticles were a little bit stiff, so I decided to use a medium bit just to speed up the process when I'm doing her cuticles. And once all that's done, I also go in with my mini sanding band, which is a 240 grit, and I actually use that to take off any bits that are lifting, but there was hardly any lifting bits, which was really good. I love it when they come back with no lifting or like the tiniest bit anyway. I do cut down the nails just a little bit shorter, and yeah, so that's basically what I do. I also use modelones, dehydrator and primer. It's my go-to. I love it. So yeah, I will let you watch this and I'll be back. So all of that main kind of sanding, filing, all that sort of stuff is done. I have already cut down the ends of the nails, and then I go in with my, I think it's either 100 or 180 file, and I go down the side wall of the nails just to crispen everything up, and then I go down the free edge as well to make sure it's nice and sharp and crisp. But I always do a finish file afterwards, so once I've done the complete set and the top coat's on, I always do a finish file afterwards because it helps crispen everything back up, and it helps like your gel polish peeling and things like that. It just helps seal everything back in. So I have done all of the filing. I've also used my buffer to go over everything just to make sure it's nice and smooth. And then I've gone in with, again, Modelones dehydrator and primer. Always dehydrator first and then primer second, just in case anybody's not sure. This just helps, the dehydrator clears the nail of any oils, literally does what it says, dehydrates, dries everything out. And you only need to do the dehydrator and primer along the natural nail that is exposed, and the primer kind of makes it tacky, so it's got something to stick to. So I am using, I'm pretty sure, don't ask me what the colour is, I haven't got a clue, but it is Modelones Builder Gel, and I've used this for over a year. Not one person has had an allergy. I've used actual Biab a few times, well, quite a lot actually, just because I've only got 3 bottles of the actual Biab, and I've had quite a few clients of mine recently have a reaction, so I'm chucking it. I'm not using it anymore. I'm just going to stick to this. I do want to, there is a couple that I've seen that I want to start trying, but I can't remember what it's called, and they do look very, very good. They're expensive, but they look very good. And from what I've read, the reviews, Nail Order, that was it. I think it's Nail Order. There's, I've not read anybody have a reaction like Biab or anything like that. I just want to maybe change my branding. I don't know yet the branding that I use, but why would I if this is doing all right, if you know what I mean? Yeah, so I always put down a slip layer, as you can see. I put down a slip layer first, just a nice thin slip layer all over the nail, away from the cuticle and away from the sidewalls, because otherwise it will spread too much. And then I pop a bead down, focusing that towards the top of where the cuticle is, but not touching it. And then I bring it down thinly towards the free edge, so towards the tip of the nail. So it's more higher where the apex should be at the top of the nail and thinner towards the tip of the nail. So that's how I do. This is what I do when I do a Builder Gel manicure. I do it exactly the same way with extensions. There's no different apart from the extensions I've got a tip on. That's literally it. So as you can see, nice thin slip layer. This just helps the second one where you're doing it now with the bead, just helps it glide nicely. And as you can see, I kind of really thinned it out on the tip of the nail because you don't want it to be really thick and bulky. And then I use my liner brush. This is Casey Payne, just to make sure it's nice and close to the sidewalls. And then I always, as you can see, I always flash cure, lost train of thought again, in between each finger, just so the Builder Gel doesn't move. And then I cure in my big lamp, which is Kirsty Meakin, and I cure that for a full 60 seconds. And then after it's fully cured, I wipe over with acetone. And this is just to get the sticky, horrible layer off. This leaves such a horrible layer on top. They come out so shiny, and then you just have to get rid of it with acetone. And then I go in with a bit of both, really. My file, just to bring those sidewalls back into a nice shape so they're nice and crisp. And then I go over the top as well, just to make sure there's no lumps, bumps, ridges or dips. Mainly dips, because if you don't really buff out the top of the nail, like I keep checking with my finger, I keep rubbing over with my finger to make sure it's smooth. If there's any lumps or dips and you just leave it, you're going to see that when you top coat or if you do any nail art. So I always, this is why this one took me quite a while, because I was checking that ridge, or that dip, sorry, had gone. So yeah, I use my buffer around the cuticle as well, just to smooth everything out. Yeah, so I'll let you watch and I'll be back in a minute. So all that's done, I've dusted everything off completely, and we're going in with a nice, is it a deep purple? I don't know, I'd say medium, I would say, all over the nails. I also do it on a ring finger, but then I go in with glitter on the ring finger on top of this colour. This is what my client wanted, so this is what we did. So I always do 2 coats, no matter what, I always do 2 coats. And then I cure in between each coat. So this is kind of like a pigmented colour. So I do cure for 60 seconds in between each coat, just to make sure it is fully cured. I don't want under-cured gel at all. So yeah, I'm pretty sure as well, I forget to show you the finished results because I'm a twat. I completely forgot. Yeah, but I will insert a picture somewhere anyway, just so you can see, or I might do it at the end, but you can see what I'm doing here anyway. 2 coats, I always do the layers quite thin, and then after everything's done, I do the top coat, and the top coat I use is Blue Sky No Wipe Shiny Top Coat. Love that stuff, it's my new favourite. That is the silver that I'm using. I need to get like a real pretty silvery colour. Not a silvery colour, just like some glitter gel polishes, but that are coloured, if that makes sense. And then after it's all top coated, I leave the nails to cool for about 60 seconds to keep that shine, and then I go in and do a finish file. So there's a little picture there of how they turn out. There was dust on them, I'm not going to lie, but thank you very much for watching. See you in my next video, bye!